Not long after my 5-year-old drowning, I went to pre-Sunday school at a church on Gravel Bank, outside of Marietta, Ohio, not far from where we lived. When we arrived, the teacher told us to go to the hall closet and pick out a coloring sheet and sit down and color. As I reached up for the coloring sheets, wondering which one I wanted, suddenly something came over me. I knew there was a very special one that I had to pick. It was very important. I looked at one and got so excited, saying, "This is it! This is the one!" I hurried and sat down and started coloring the page. It was of Jesus sitting on a big rock with a small child on his lap and 2 older kids standing beside him. As I colored, I started singing "Jesus Loves Me" over and over and louder and louder. Suddenly, I was no longer in the classroom coloring and singing. I was standing in heaven in front of Jesus, with that child on his lap and the 2 standing beside him. I wanted to sit on Jesus's lap so bad that it was hard to refrain from pushing that kid off and not waiting my turn to sit on Jesus's lap. I stood there wringing my hands in anticipation. I saw Jesus looking right at me and smile with a chuckle at my obvious mischievous thoughts. I then heard someone say to me very clearly, "Jesus loves children of every color, never forget that." I was then aware I was still in Sunday school coloring. A boy my age with a crew cut was begging the teacher to make me stop singing, as he held his hands tightly over his ears. The whole class was complaining that I was singing too loud. My teacher calmly said to them, "Let her be, she is full of the Spirit." It was over 10 years before I had another spiritual experience. I was 16 years old. I was kidnapped and about to be raped by a black man. He was supposed to drive me to my dad's house. I was running away before my stepfather killed me. He was just supposed to give me a ride. He had me held hostage in a tool shed. I was praying to God, saying I wish I wasn't on this earth because my family never liked me. But now they would all hate me, even my grandparents, for what this man was about to do to me. Suddenly, I was in the night sky among the twinkling stars looking down at Earth. The wind was blowing my hair gently around. I felt a warm ocean breeze on my arms and face. My clothes were on, I was safe, and I didn't care how or why. I had escaped. My wish came true. Then after a while I began to worry. I was only 16, I hadn't lived out my life yet. I should go back. With that thought, I was back, and I could tell it was over. The man said, "Wow, I want a wife like you someday." I assume he meant easy. I must have laid there like a corpse. All I could think about was, how did I leave? Was that an answer to a prayer? Was it a wish come true? Or do I have a skill of some kind that I can choose to leave my body when I want? I had no answers, and I never wanted to remember that night again.